The first year I went to college, I actually met a friend that wanted to go to India. So we went to India together. And it was one of the most unique experiences of my entire life. So he had a couple friends in India already. And so the trip was already planned and he just brought me along. And it was really, really cool. Because we actually checked out 3 different places in India, and in each place that we had somebody to show us around and like organize like all the events and whatever that we were doing. And so everything was like super tailored and super good. And I saw both the wealthy sides of India, I saw the poor, like the really, really poor sides of India, and I met some incredible people. The food was amazing, and I'm gonna share as much as I can with you in a little story today. So yeah, I just got involved in this group in college, and he really liked me. We were good friends. Probably knew each other for about 3 months, maybe a little longer, maybe 5 months. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to India. You should come with me." I was like, "Yeah, sounds good." He had already been to India. He always talked about it and how crazy and awesome it was for him. What a good learning experience it was and how much it meant to him. And so I kept mentioning, I was like, "Oh, if you ever decide to go to India again, you should invite me. Like, I'd really want to go." And so he came to me one day. He was like, yeah, I'm going to India. He's like, "You need to get a passport right now because I'm leaving like soon." I was like, "Oh crap." Okay, so I went and got my passport. I actually had to drive to a big city, which for me was like an 8-hour drive. And I had to get approved and everything. And then we went. And yeah, we did everything. We went to like a giant like conference style thing with some of his more wealthy friends. And that was cool. And that was in Goa, so that was like the beach resort. That's where all like the Russian mafia and stuff is. And yeah, it's kind of like a more crazy area. We were in Delhi, which is where the Taj Mahal is. We tried to see the Taj Mahal, but we couldn't. And actually, that's kind of an interesting place. Well, I had an interesting time there because when we went to go see the Taj Mahal, it was really, really late. And like I said, I wasn't able to see it. And the tour guides that tried to show us the Taj Mahal were kind of sketch. And we like pretty much almost got mugged. But it ended up being okay. We shut the door of the car in time. And we gave them, you know, their pay and everything that we agreed on. Shut the door, and like they were essentially trying to rob us after it. Like it was really weird. But we got out of there. It was cool. We got a really good driver, and he took care of us. And then the most important part for me was when we went to like random villages in the Odessa mountains. Odessa is one of like the 66 states or something like that. In I don't know if they're states, they might be regions or whatever. One of the 66 locations in India, and it's all like mountainous and jungly and stuff like that. And it was super, super cool. So we actually visited an orphanage while we were there, and saw them like 3 times, and like we got to meet the kids and like eat with them, play games and stuff. It was just like, it was all around good. Like, I don't know, it was good exposure for them to the world, to like different perspectives. And yeah, it was cool for us as well. And so we went to the orphanage. We also went to 2 like remote villages because his friend like knew people around the area. So like my friend that brought me there, he had a friend in that location that like knew people in the area. So they brought us around, and we went to a couple like remote villages, and like, you know, I ate with them and like talked with them and stuff. And they showed us their houses, and one of them was like growing cotton and stuff like that, and we got to see their cotton operation. And it was just cool. It was a completely different way of life over there. They have statues all over the place. We don't have a lot of statues where I'm from. So all of theirs were like Hindu, you know, like giant monuments and temples and stuff. There's a lot of like Muslim, what are they called? Mosques. So I haven't really seen a lot of those. So that was kind of interesting. The food was incredible. Almost every meal was like prepared by some lovely lady in the kitchen, and it was like 5-star dining no matter where we were. Even in like the super remote villages, it was like the best food ever, like made with love, you know what I'm saying? And anyway, the desserts, when they did, it's cold, so I'm kind of having a hard time talking. The desserts, when they did make them, are super sugary. Everything there has like tons of flavor. So if you're not able to handle flavor, then maybe it's not your kind of thing. I've got French blood, so flavor's like, that's where it's at, you know? I love flavor. So anyway, when they brought out the desserts, it was like, I felt my teeth like falling out already. It was so good. Yeah, everything about India was cool. The one thing I would say, it's very sad. On the way there and the way back, we had to stop a layover in the UAE, and on the way back we were able to see like the richest people in the world. You know, I went to the largest mall in the world, the tallest tower in the world, in the middle of the desert, where it's like maybe not the most I don't know, efficient process, you know, but the people have money, you know, and they're able to do whatever they want. And then I did that right after going to like some of the poorest locations where people were really down on their luck. A lot of people were very like sad about their situation or had a lot of issues, you know, health issues. A lot of them didn't have parents, you know, obviously I visited an orphanage. And like stray dogs everywhere, unhealthy living conditions, you know, all these things. But people were happy in both locations. I thought that was very interesting. The people were happy in both locations, whether they were poor or whether they were wealthy. The people were healthy. The people treated us well, and both locations were good. You know, it was just seeing two different extremes in terms of wealth that was a little more shocking. You know, so I will say that was maybe hard for me, especially like I didn't come from like a super rich family. I'm pretty much like lower middle class in the United States, but we don't have like Abu Dhabi, UAE kind of money. And anyway, going there was completely different for me. We had a nice meal with like 4 courses. I've never had a meal with like more than 1 course. So it was very interesting just seeing that kind of life, experiencing it. And I know lower middle class in the United States might be considered very wealthy in India, but here in the UAE it's really not, it's not the same. So yeah, it was interesting. I come from the middle and I saw the lowest and I saw the top, and just the contrast was crazy. But just like he said, India was like completely life-changing for me. It was super cool. I made a lot of friends there, although I don't keep in touch with them a lot because it's been years, and like I'm not planning to go to India anytime soon. Maybe I'd go again. I really liked it, and I'm not opposed to it. I love to travel, and I want to travel a lot in the future, so maybe it'll happen. But yeah, there just hasn't really been a reason for me to keep in touch. So yeah, that's been my experience in India. I'm planning to do lots of travel vlogging and going around to different locations. I have a heavy interest in Latin America. I learned Spanish, and now I really love the culture because as I was studying Spanish, I learned that yeah, I just really like Latin Americans. They're really cool people. And so I went to Costa Rica, and I plan to go to a bunch of other countries. I'd like to go to Mexico. That's been my goal for a long time. As soon as I make some money online, that's my plan. And then I also like Peru. Like I want to visit Peru. I want to visit Ecuador. I studied ecology for 3.5 years in college, so I want to visit Ecuador really bad. And yeah, I just want to go all over. I'm just gonna list all the Latin countries at this point. So anyway, if you are into travel vlogging, consider subscribing, consider hanging around, watching some of my videos. My next adventure is going to be happening soon. I'm going to Los Angeles, and I'm planning to stay on a farm where I'm going to work for my lodging and my food, and I'm going to be vlogging on the side the whole time. So we're working our way up. For now, I'm staying in the United States until I make a little bit of money. This is part of it, so if you want to support this endeavor, definitely consider subscribing, and I appreciate you watching this video. Peace.